Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Sorry, no webcam today, I look like shit. So today we're doing What If I Ran the WWE May 2020. So after Mania, they have all, let's say after WrestleMania, Vince is in so bad a stock, he pretty much gives the WWE to Ma. Let's just say that. I know, my ego is showing. But, and I say, you've got until the 1st of May to do everything you need to, and there's something popping up on my screen. I don't like that. Not one bit. And so the current plan is Paul Heyman will help me run Raw, Triple H will help me run NXT, and Eric Bischoff will help me run SmackDown. Of course, they will just be input. They will be like creative input, but I have full control. And all the McMahons are still employed by the WWE. Triple H, Stephanie, Shane, Vince, Linda, they're all still employed. I don't fire any of them. And my first show is going to be a draft May 8th through the 10th of 2020. So it's going to be a 3-night event, draft, change the roster, spice things up. So night 1, let's start off with that. Our first match is the Viking Raiders versus the Revival. This match goes on 13 minutes. It shows that, the product is now changing. Matches are actually getting better. And the Revival pick up the win with the Viking Raiders, who will be renamed to War Machine next night on Raw. So War Machine is now their name on the next Raw, and that gives them a pick for SmackDown. Rusev has been drafted to SmackDown. Hopefully, this will make fans happy. Hopefully. Next up, we have Bobby Lashley and Dolph Ziggler. A good 16-minute match. And this match, it's pretty much a cat and mouse. Lashley's throwing Ziggler around. Ziggler's like, oh god, oh god. Gets a couple super kicks here and there. But eventually Lashley does pick up the win, because I think Lashley is underused talent, and he could be a very, very good upper mid-card talent if used right. This gives him a draft pick for Raw. New Day is drafted over to Monday Night Raw. All 3 of them. Because I think they've had enough time on Raw. It's time for them to be, or they have enough time on SmackDown. Next match is Humberto Carrillo versus Elias. Yeah, this match would be good, especially since, wrestlers are now allowed to do whatever they want. They can go all out, they can hold back. Hopefully they're not holding back, because that would be really sad. But this match is pretty good. We had fast action pace from Carrillo while Elias tries to stop it. But I do give it to Carrillo. Carrillo wins, gives him another draft pick for Raw, and we have our first NXT call-up in Austin Theory. I know Theory's on Raw, but I think he's still an NXT star. So let's make it official and put him on Raw. Next match, a good 25-minute match. Hopefully this gets 4 stars by Meltzer. But it is Aleister Black versus Daniel Bryan. I think this should be a very hard-hitting match. This was probably the best match of the first night. But I would eventually give it to Aleister Black, because I've got good things coming for Aleister Black. Yep. I do. Spoiler. Next match is, Lars Sullivan is drafted to Raw. I don't know what's going on with Lars Sullivan, but hopefully he'll return to the WWE and get drafted to Raw. Next up is AJ Styles versus Cesaro. Again, another good match. Hopefully this gets 4 stars. If not, that would be sad. Another hard-hitting match. I would have Styles win it. I think AJ should get this one, especially since he would lose to Taker at Mania. In this timeline, Taker still fights Styles. And instead, Goldberg did not beat Wyatt at Super Showdown. Wyatt beat Goldberg, and we have Wyatt and Reigns. Fiend won. And, just etc. But Roman Reigns is drafted over to Raw. So, yeah. Next match, we have Owens and Joe. Joe will be back from suspension, and will face off against Nakamura and Zayn. Zayn is not Intercontinental Champion, neither is Daniel Bryan. Braun Strowman is still the Intercontinental Champion. Strowman never dropped the title. But Owens and Joe would end up winning this match. It would be a good match, and shock to everyone, Sami Zayn is drafted to Monday nights. And he will be used correctly. He will be now that I'm in charge. Sorry, I don't know why that picture took a while to load. But next up we have Shayna Baszler versus the new SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks, and she had a match against Bayley, none of that fatal 5-way crap. But this ain't going to be a long match. It's pretty much another cat and mouse. Shayna will end up getting the win, dominating Banks, and she'll win the match. And the final pick of the night will be Alexa Bliss. Next up is night 2 of the draft. Our first match is Austin Theory versus Sheamus. Theory will pretty much get a win via a fluke roll-up. Him getting the win. He's a face this time around, not a heel. That's just how I want him to be. And Sheamus is drafted over to Monday Night Raw, where he will proceed to bro kick Austin Theory straight in the face. Next up is the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, versus the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Miz and Morrison. I would give Miz and Morrison this win. Again, that's just how I see it. And the draft pick goes to SmackDown. Aleister Black is drafted to SmackDown. Next up is Kofi Kingston, who is the new Raw guy, versus King Corbin. I'd give these guys 13 minutes. Yeah, 13 minutes. You know, have a good offense from both sides, but I would have Kofi end up getting the victory, giving Raw another draft pick, and this time the B team. Next up is going to be Asuka versus Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors. I have gotten rid of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions at this point. That title has just been retired. I would not know what to do with the championship, so that's why I don't want it around if I don't know what to do with it. I could have sent it to NXT, but still I wouldn't know what to do with it. And they face off against Fire and Desire, Sonya, and Mandy. And the Kabuki Warriors win this match, giving Raw another draft pick, and this time another official NXT call-up, Angel Garza. Like Austin Theory, he's on Raw, but he's still a NXT star, so let's just make it official. Next match is The Big Show versus Rusev. Rusev wins. I think this should be a bunch of like, I'm strong. No, I'm strong. Like big, hard-hitting, giant moves, with Rusev getting a Machka kick and a fucking brutal-looking camel clutch or accolade, where he literally makes Big Show like spit up like saliva, because he's like got him in that tight hold so tight. And this results in Eric Rowan being drafted over to SmackDown. Thank God he doesn't have that cage anymore. Next match is Roman Reigns versus Jeff Hardy, and the match is a good match until Roman Reigns, he's faced up the Fiend, remember, and he's changing, so he's a lot more aggressive. He's gradually turning heel. Roman Reigns just beats Jeff Hardy to a bloody mess outside the ring, and it's a double count out, no draft pick. It's just Reigns is just throwing Hardy around, and the officials are trying to get him away, like, go in the back, Roman, go in the back. Next match, the main event, I think, of the night? Yes, the main event of the night. U.S. Champion Andrade versus Intercontinental Champion Braun Strowman. I think this will be an amazing match, because I don't know why, but Braun likes to wrestle small guys just like Brock Lesnar, and that shines. It shows. Braun Strowman will end up winning the match. No reason. Not because his tattoo is of my state. That's a joke. But this gives SmackDown the final draft of the night, which is Ricochet. Yep, Ricochet is on SmackDown where he needs to be. Night 3. We're going to start off tonight with Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder facing off against Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. I know Ziggler already had a match, but we're going to reuse him. And this match is a good match until Kurt Hawkins hits a roll-up on Bobby Roode. He's Bobby Roode, not Robert Roode. And Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder win the match. Fans are going to be happy. They're like, ooh, new management. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins are actually getting pushed, it seems like. And Raw gets a draft pick of Kalisto. So, which means, and as you'll see later on, as you know, fans will see later on, it'll be announced that Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik of the Lucha House Party have been sent over down to NXT, along with Gallagher, Gulak, Alexander, Nice, you know, and Arya Daivari, you know, some NXT guys, some cruiserweights. You know, develop that cruiserweight division down in NXT. Next match is returning Nia Jax face off against Nikki Cross. I would give this to Jax. I think it would be like crazy, like she's like swinging down and Nia Jax picks her up, slams her down, hit the Samoan drop, then her finisher, 1, 2, 3. Jax wins, and Bianca Belair. The next NXT call-up goes to Monday nights. Next up is Rey Mysterio versus Chad Gable. Not Shorty G, it's Chad Gable. I would have him more like tight shorts, like, you know, something like longer than what Shelton Benjamin wears. Have him wear like that. That's how I would ask. Like, I would ask, hey, you want to wear this? And if he says yay or nay, I would be like, okay, that's fine. If he says no, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. I would be lenient with my workers. I would actually give like health care, quote unquote. You know, I would help them out with that. Like 50% of their like surgeries and stuff would be paid by the company. Maybe 60%, depends on how bad the injury is. But I would have Chad Gable win this match. Rey Mysterio is getting up there in age, and he needs to start putting younger talents over. So Chad Gable wins this match. And Liv Morgan is drafted over to SmackDown. Next match is Bobby Lashley versus SmackDown's newest signee, Ricochet. And unlike Lashley thinks, yeah, I'm going to get another win over this small guy. Ricochet's a lot better than Ziggler. He's a lot, you know, more technical. He's more of a veteran, I think. I could be wrong. Then Ricochet gets the win. And we get a fourth NXT call-up of the night. Hold on. His name is Cameron Grimes, but, like, I'm thinking Tyson Ducks. Hold on. My bad. It was Trevor Lee. My mistake. Don't get mad. Okay, our next match is Jinder Mahal returning from injury versus Elias. I like Jinder Mahal, and I think he should be pushed better, which is why I give him the win. I would also have Jinder be training at the Performance Center daily to work on a new moveset, because he needs it. And Nikki Cross is drafted over to Monday nights. Our next match would be a very excellent match. Randy Orton versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And this is where I start, you know, building on Nakamura. Orton, of course, getting up there in age and start putting younger talents over. And I would give this win to Nakamura. And SmackDown's next pick is the entire OC. Now, at this point, I would be, you know, trying to get in touch with New Japan Pro Wrestling, working out a deal to use the name Bullet Club, but that could take months. So it will just be known as the OC for now. Our main event of the night is WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, who did beat Brock Lesnar, and Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt, who beat Roman Reigns. So yeah, these two. I think this would be a good match. With McIntyre hitting a Claymore, and then, you know, Bray Wyatt rolling over and just smiling at McIntyre with his hands on his cheeks, just like, do it again. You know, just being crazy. But I would give the match to Firefly Funhouse Bray, and we get our fifth and final draft, or fifth and final call from NXT. The man who beat Adam Cole for the NXT champion, Finn Balor. Finn Balor is called up to SmackDown again, and I would talk to him and be like, hey, do you want to come up to NXT, or from NXT? I know you're the champion, but, like, give me a chance. Give me a chance to show that this is different. And, you know, hopefully he says yes. This would be the draft. We are now on Monday Night Raw, and of course commentary has changed. The Raw commentary table is going to be, you know, we have signed JBL back, and we have Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler. That's our commentary team. I think they're pretty good. They just need some work. I wouldn't be in their earpiece at all. I would just be like, do your thing. Just say what you need to say. I'm not going to be in your ear. Say what you need to say, okay? You guys have been doing this for ages. I trust you. And of course, we start off tonight with Drew McIntyre saying, I beat Brock Lesnar. I am going to do something he could never do, and that's be a fighting champion. And then Sami Zayn comes out and is like, oh yeah? How about you have a match with me? Since you're a fighting champion. Well, McIntyre complies. And that's our main event. So we have our first match, a number one contenders match for the U.S. champion, Carrillo, Truth, and Garza. Winner will face off against Andrade at the next pay-per-view, which I think is Backlash, but I could be wrong. And brand-specific pay-per-views are back, but they're more spread. They're not 2 a month, 3 a month. No, sometimes it'll be 1 a month, sometimes 2 months, but they're spread out evenly, I think, in my opinion. Truth wins the match, but then bang! Andrade comes in and attacks R-Truth. Okay, next match is the Street Profits defending against the B Team. That should be a good match, but I do think the Street Profits will end up winning the match. And then after the match, Bo Dallas just beats the shiznit out of Curtis Axel and just walks away. Just rips his B Team shirt, just like rips it apart and just throws it on Axel and walks away. Next up, Roman Reigns is like, why did you attack Jeff Hardy? Are you okay? You've never been the same since The Fiend. And Reigns just walks away. He doesn't want anything to do with Raw or SmackDown. He just wants The Fiend. He just walks away. He doesn't say a word. Our next match is Roman Reigns versus No Way Jose. And I know, like, this will be gradual change, guys. It's gradual. So, Roman Reigns beats the absolute shit out of No Way Jose. And, you know, Reigns beats Jose and just sits there like, this is what, he's like, he doesn't want to be here. He just leaves, not saying a word. Hopefully fans are booing him, and hopefully they're cheering him at the same time. Next match is Riddick Moss versus Mojo Rawley. Mojo Rawley wins the match. And then R-Truth comes out, and Kurt Hawkins, etc., etc. Kurt Hawkins pins R-Truth to become 24/7 champion, and Mojo Rawley just bursts through him and wins the 24/7 championship. And this is where I retired this championship because I don't know what to do with it. I think it would be a hassle just to book 3, 4, 5 title changes every single show, so I just got rid of it. Next up is going to be Kofi Kingston versus Jinder Mahal. This is a good match. Mahal, you know, doing some back and forth, showing off some new moves he should be learning at the Performance Center, you know, because Matt Bloom would hopefully be telling him, start doing these moves at the show so you have practice. And so I would have Jinder Mahal win this match, you know, building him up, hopefully as a top mid-card star. Next match is Shayna Baszler versus Natalya. Shayna Baszler beats the hell out of Natalya, and after the match, she does not let go of Natalya. She is just wrenching in that submission move, just not letting her go. She's got that tight, and you can actually see like blood popping out, like spilling out of her mouth. And then Beth Phoenix comes back and, you know, helps her friend. Beth Phoenix returns, Shayna Baszler runs off, you know, smiling. That's it. Our main event tonight is Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. This match should go on 30 minutes. It will be like a bunch of kicks and stomps and shit like that. And yes, when McIntyre goes for his, you know, that third and final Claymore, Kevin Owens comes in and starts him and starts bringing the shiznit out of Drew McIntyre, and Zayn and him are now a team again. Owens turns heel. And that's how the show closes. It shows off with Owens and Zayn bumping fists. We are now on the first NXT of this multiple slides, and it's already 18 minutes. Wow, what's going to be like a 45-minute video. We have Akira Tozawa versus Jackson Riker. And so, yeah, this will be a good match. I would have Jackson Riker win the match. That's just my opinion. Next match is going to be Alex Shelley and Kushida versus the Grizzled Young Veterans, the Young Grizzled Veterans. I would have the Young Grizzled Veterans win. This would be the show where Triple H has more authority over the show. That's just how I would work it. Next up, a triple threat match: Gargano, Gulak, and Ciampa. I would have Gargano win the match. This would be a #1 contenders match for the NXT Championship. Next up, we have the NXT Women's Championship match between Charlotte Flair and Candice LeRae. I would have Charlotte Flair cheat to win. And finally, our main event: Finn Balor defending against Velveteen Dream. And I would have the Velveteen Dream beat Finn Balor. You know, just so we can have Finn Balor not hold the title on the main roster. Because that championship needs more exposure on NXT rather than SmackDown and Raw. Now it's time for SmackDown. And our commentary team is Mauro Ranallo, Renee Young, and Corey Graves. I feel like, you know, this is a good commentary team. That's just my opinion. And we start off the night with the new SmackDown General Manager, Eric Bischoff, announcing that WWE will go back to Saudi Arabia. I wish I didn't have to do these Saudi Arabia events, but I can't get out of that until 2030. So we're just going to continue doing it till then. And he announces that the King of the Ring will return. Now you might be like, what? No tournament Saudi Arabia tournament. No, that's bad. Well, no, it's not the best in the world tournament. This is King of the Ring, and people love King of the Ring. He announces that there will be qualifying matches. You know, we'll start and end the show. So, enjoy. First match is Mustafa Ali versus AJ Styles. Mustafa Ali will end up getting the victory because I think if Ali goes to Saudi Arabia, it would be interesting. Then AJ Styles and him will pull on a great match. Great match. Next up is Heavy Machinery versus the Colognes, and we're just gonna build up the Colognes. You'll see what I do. But Heavy Machinery wins because they're a good tag team. They're a great tag team, and the Colognes will walk away like, man, we lost. Better luck next time, I guess. Next, Roman Reigns shows and says, when I was drafted to Raw, I was pissed. I don't want to be a Raw. I want the Fiend's ass. Which is why I'm coming after you, Bray. And then you hear, we're really glad that you're our friend. And this is a friendship that'll never ever end. Bray Wyatt comes and is like, Roman, hi! Are you serious? You want the Fiend? No, you don't want the Fiend. And Roman's like, I want the Fiend. He's like, okay. You can have the Fiend if you want. But it's going to be different. It's going to be a steel cage match, Roman. Roman's like, that's fine. And, we go into our next match. Heath Slater versus Eric Rowan. Heath Slater loses because Eric Rowan needs to be built up for something big. Next up, we have a Tag Team Championship match of the Revival versus Miz and Morrison. Eric Bischoff is rewarding the Revival for winning the first draft match. And so the Revival pick up the win because the Revival, in my opinion, is in the top 5 best tag teams in the WWE right now. That's not NXT. Okay? They're in the top 5. They're that good. Next match is a SmackDown Women's Championship match between Bayley and Sasha Banks, the rematch. This match should go on 40 plus minutes. I'm just kidding. It should be 30. Good 30-minute match. Show off the women. Show how good they are, but I would have Sasha retain this match and then have Bayley just hitting the ring, pissed off. Next match is going to be another King of the Ring qualifying match. Daniel Bryan versus King Corbin. Because King Corbin's like, I'm going to become I'm a back-to-back 2-time King of the Ring winner. And when Daniel Bryan's going to hit that, that knee, Finn Balor comes in and be like, hey, Daniel. When he's looking, bang, end of days, Baron Corbin wins the match 1, 2, 3, and he's going on to King of the Ring. Then we are now going on to Raw, the second Raw of May. Kevin Owens explains why he did. He says, I've been dealing with Seth Rollins for ages, and I was so close to winning the Rumble. Seth eliminates me, and then I go on to see that Drew McIntyre goes on to take my spot at WrestleMania because I had to deal with something. No, I'm done with that. I'm taking what's mine. Drew McIntyre says, fine, you want the match? You got the match. Says something very provoking. Very, very provoking. Because he's scary. He's scary. And then Kevin Owens Samson starts to beat on him. He starts beating shit out of Drew McIntyre. And then John Cena returns because at WrestleMania he didn't have a match. Remember, The Fiend faced off against Roman Reigns. John Cena's back. He missed Mania, so he's going to be a Raw. And he helps, Drew McIntyre. And then Paul Heyman comes out. The Raw General Manager, Paul Heyman, says, you know what? How about we have John Cena versus Kevin Owens as the main event tonight? Our next match is R-Truth versus Angel Garza. R-Truth will end up winning the match. The reason why this match is on here because Angel Garza is Andrade's lapdog. Andrade tries to come in and attack Truth again, but this time, bang! R-Truth gives him with that smack to the face. He just gets punched him again. Next match is Riddick Moss versus the newly renamed Dallas. Not Bo Dallas. Dropped the Bo. He's now Dallas. Bo Dallas wins the match, and he comes out and explains, now, I don't know if that's his real voice. That kind of voice. But if it is, that's fine. We can work with it. Hopefully we can make him sound more intimidating. Send him to the Performance Center to work on his mic skills. And he can say something like, I attacked Axel because the B team's a joke. I am not a joke wrestler. I am the son of IRS, the brother of Bray freaking Wyatt. And so far, they've had more success than I have, and I'm going to change that. I am going to be the face of the Rotunda family. And I can't do that with a joke of a partner like Curtis Axel. Curtis Axel comes out and Bo Dallas just scurries away before a fight could happen. Next match is a tag team match between Humberto Carrillo and Austin Theory versus Lars Sullivan and Sheamus. Sheamus and Sullivan will win the match. Hopefully, fans will be mad, but, we can't really confirm that. Next match is Big Show versus Bobby Lashley. These two will brawl outside the ring, and Bobby Lashley will spear the Big Show through the barricade. Bang! And the match will end up in a double count-out, setting up a feud between these two. Shayna Baszler comes out and says, Beth, you interrupted something I was doing last week. I was trying to end the career of your little girlfriend. And now I have to end your career. You shouldn't have came out of retirement. I'm going to teach you a lesson at Backlash. And so that's also promo. Next up, we have a #1 contenders match for the Raw Tag Team Champions between Hawkins and Ryder, the New Day, and the Viking Raiders. And this match goes on good. When you least expected, Xavier Woods is in the corner. Bang, attack from Zack Ryder. Kurt Hawkins grabs, flips Xavier Woods over the top rope. Zack Ryder comes in. Rough Ryder pins Rowe, not Eric or Ivar. He pins Rowe 1, 2, 3. Zack Ryder and Hawkins will go on to Backlash to face off against the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, and a good face versus face matchup. The next match is Bianca Belair versus Ruby Riott. Belair's main roster debut match, pretty much, and Belair will win the match, showing her cocky side. Because why not? And it's finally time for our main event: John Cena versus Kevin freaking Owens. The match is good, but at the end, when Cena's about to do his thing, Zayn grabs his foot when Kevin Owens is distracting the ring, ref, and then Zayn does his little DDT on the outside, throws John Cena back in, bang, stunner, 1, 2, 3, Kevin Owens wins the match. Okay, now it's time for NXT. Again, this is a show where Triple H has more authority in it, but I still make the matches. Jackson Riker beats Alex Shelley. Matt Riddle beats, I think that's Zach Gibson. Candice LeRae beats Mia Yim and Aaliyah. Jordan Devlin's Cruiserweight Open Challenge. He beats Tony Nese. Keith Lee beats Killian Dane to retain his championship. NXT's done. SmackDown. Roman Reigns comes out and says, He explains why he still wants the Fiend. He says, the Fiend, I didn't lose the Universal Championship. I had to drop it because of leukemia. And that's when you people decided to cheer me. When I revealed I had a disease, a handicap. And that's the only reason why you people love me. That's the only reason why you chose to cheer for me. The only reason. Then Finn Balor comes out and says, what makes you think that the Fiend is a joke, Roman? You should know. I faced the Fiend. The Fiend is no joke. The Fiend was only toying with you at WrestleMania. I deserve to face off against the Fiend. And Roman says, fine. Me and you, main event. And Eric Bischoff makes it official. Next matches, we have Braun Strowman versus Cesaro. King of the Ring qualifying match. This is a good match. Nakamura tries to get involved, but to no avail. Braun Strowman wins. He goes on to the King of the Ring. Next up, we have the Usos versus the Colognes. The Usos will win the match, but then the Colognes will come in and just attack them, just beats them down because they're tired of losing every week. They're sick and tired of it. And they just leave and just, throw a tantrum. Next match is a #1 contenders match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Carmella, Naomi, and Tamina. This is the only real solution for me. Naomi wins. Sasha Banks is like, this is going to be interesting because Naomi, me and you used to be partners. And now me and you are facing off for this coveted SmackDown Women's Championship. Something like that. Next match is going to be the OC versus Heavy Machinery. We're still calling them the OC because we don't have the right to call them the Bullet Club just yet. And of course, this is a good match. #1 contenders match for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. The Club, or the OC, wins. And Dash and Dawson come down and be like, so you're gonna be our opponent. It's gonna be a heel versus heel match because I want to try something new. See how fans react to heel versus heel matches. Dash and Dawson come out and be like, King of the Ring, this is gonna be good. It's gonna be a good match between us, but you're not gonna win because since you joined the WWE, your team has been nothing but a joke. And a brawl happens between the two teams. Next up, the co-main event of the night, we have Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor. Eric Bischoff does not make it for number one contenders match for the Fiend. He does not, but he says it'll be a good grudge match either way. Finn Balor, if he wins, maybe the Fiend will choose him. Who knows? And then when Roman Reigns is about to hit a spear, the Titantron hits, and it shows Bray Wyatt, the Fiend's face, and then he turns around. Roman Reigns' head is turned into a lantern. And the Fiend is just, caressing the oily hair of the lantern. Finn Balor hits the 1916 and wins the match. Daniel Bryan comes in and a brawl starts between the two. So, we can just continue that rivalry. You screwed him out of the King of the Ring. He's going to screw you out of, you won the face of the Fiend, etc. Next up, the main event, the King of the Ring qualifying match of the night, Ricochet versus Rusev. This will be a good match. People are going to... I know what you're saying, oh, Ricochet's going to win this match, but no, Rusev wins the match because he cheats to win. Cheats to win. It is now time for Raw. Shayna Baszler comes out, does her thing, says she is the most dominant champion of any brand. And then Charlotte Flair comes out and says, girl says what? And the match is made official by general manager, Paul Heyman. Next up, we have Titus Sentinel and R-Truth versus Andrade and Angel Garza. This is not good, but Angel Garza gets a roll-up victory on Titus O'Neil. 1, 2, 3. Andrade and Garza win the match. Next up, we have a 6-man tag team match between Carrillo, Kalisto, and Theory versus Sheamus, Sullivan, and Raleigh. Continue this feud, But instead, Kalisto gets a somehow shocking victory over Lars Sullivan. He, grabs both of his legs while Theory and Carrillo are like holding down his shoulders. And, the cruiserweights win the match. It's good. It's good. It's a nice little victory. Next match is going to be Kurt Hawkins versus Montez Ford. They shake hands before the match. But, of course, Kurt Hawkins gets, a roll of victory. When he does a Montez Ford with the frog splash, Kurt Hawkins, out of instinct, grabs him and puts him in a package, roll up. 1, 2, 3. Kurt Hawkins gets the victory. Holy crap. The fans will go wild for this, I hope. Next match is Kofi Kingston versus You Ain't Stopping Me, yo! Ain't no stopping me, no stop! Ain't no stopping me, no stop! Ain't no dropping me, yo! Kofi Kingston wins. Backstage, you see Kevin Johnson, you see Owens and Zayn, beating the crap out of Cena, Zayn, DDTs him on the concrete, pop-up powerbomb on the concrete, have Owens bring that back, and he's not going to be in, McIntyre's corner night in their, match night, so hopefully that'll, go to their advantage. Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. This match will be good. I would have Rey win by disqualification because Orton, beats him down with like chairs, stuff, concerto him, puts a chair under his face, and he's just a bang, Orton just beats the hell out of him. Next match, the co-main event, Shayna Baszler versus Charlotte Flair. I would have Charlotte Flair win this match because Beth Phoenix comes in and, distracts Shayna Baszler, so it's not a clean victory. Next match, Drew McIntyre and John Cena versus Owens and Zayn. The match starts off with Owens and Zayn versus McIntyre, but in the last minute, Cena comes in, helps, but it doesn't do anything because Owens and Zayn still win the match because, Cena's hurt. McIntyre couldn't handle them two by himself, and, Paul Heyman says, you know what? At Backlash, we're going to have John Cena and Drew McIntyre versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Okay? We're going to have this match again at Backlash. You're welcome. It's now time for NXT. Again, this NXT, the NXT through May is mostly going to be ran by Triple H, so we have Dunn versus the rest of the shows. Triple H books them, he books the matches, he books the winners, he does this for the rest of May. Dunn and Drake, I think, I could be wrong, You know, Killian Dane, or excuse me, Keith Lee and Dijakovic will have a match. Devlin, this input was made by me, of course. You know, the Devlin Open Challenge. He'll face off against Gallagher. And Gargano and Gulak. You know, we can continue to run that back. It is now time for SmackDown. Let me take a drink of tea. Once again, Reigns comes to speak about the Fiend. Daniel Bryan comes out and be like, no, you do not want the Fiend again. I fought the Fiend twice and it was worse the second time, Roman. You don't want that. Roman says, I can and I will. You can't stop me. Bryan's like, fine. Smacks Roman Reigns and a brawl starts. A match is made official between the two. We start off the match with a qualifying match. Jeff Hardy versus Eric Rowan. Rowan looks like he's about to win, but Jeff hits him with a twist of fate, not twist of fury. 1, 2, 3. Jeff Hardy wins, and Jeff Hardy is allowed to wear his face paint whenever he pleases. Next up, we have Trevor Lee pulling off a promo saying he's going to be the face of WWE. He's the greatest, and that, you know, he challenges Saudi Arabia's greatest professional wrestler, Mansoor, and, you know, we can make that match official, and he proves it by going out to face off against Kane. He's crazy for dude. The commentators play off like, dude, Trevor Lee is crazy. Why is he trying to face off against the Big Red Machine? But guess what? Trevor Lee actually gets the win. Shockingly. Next up, you know, 4 out of the 8 competitors are announced for the match. We have Braun Strowman and Mustafa Ali versus Rusev and King Corbin. The match goes on a good 15-16 minutes before Rusev and King Corbin pick up the win. Next match is going to be the Revival and Ricochet versus, you know, the Club. This match would be great in my opinion. Would be great. But I would have the Club win the match. AJ Styles is not US champion, ignore that, but I would have the Club win with AJ Styles hitting a phenomenal splash off the ropes onto Ricochet. 1, 2, 3. You know, hopefully setting a match between Styles and Ricochet. Next up, we have the King of the Ring qualifying match, the second of the night. Chad Gable versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura ends up winning the match after, you know, Cesaro comes in and is like, bang! Uppercuts Gable. And so Nakamura gets the win, 1, 2, 3. The main event of the night, Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. This match doesn't even start before the lights go out. Before Finn Balor comes in and tries to, you know, attack with men. Lights go out. The Fiend shows up, attacks all 3 men. Nobody survives the Fiend. The Fiend takes out, Bryan takes out Finn and Roman. They're all taken out. Nobody survives the Fiend. And now we have Backlash, ladies and gentlemen. Backlash. Yes, the final show of this video. I know, it's been a long one, but let's get it on. Start with Backlash. Our first match tonight is going to be Humberto Carrillo versus Mojo Rawley. I feel like this will be a good opener. Give Mojo Rawley some time on air. But I would have Carrillo win the match, obviously. Next up, we have Kalisto versus Lars Sullivan. Kalisto tries to get some kicks. It will be like Rey Mysterio versus Big Show, but Lars Sullivan ends up winning the match. But at the end, they try to, you know, stretcher off Kalisto. But Lars Sullivan takes the stretcher and, like, bang, hits, like, just rams it against the ring post, because I think that would look cool. Like how Big Show did to Rey Mysterio. I think at No Mercy. Next match is Austin Theory versus Sheamus. Sheamus will end up getting the victory because he grabs the tights. After a broke, he grabs the tights. Next up, we have a chain match between Dallas and Curtis Axel. Dallas will win, and after the match, camera close-ups should be like showing Curtis Axel's back with like welts and stuff on it after Dallas beat him relentlessly with that chain. You know, Dallas touches all the corners, he wins. Next up is the U.S. Championship match, R-Truth versus Andrade. Andrade does get the win after R-Truth is distracted by Zelina Vega doing some sexy dance moves, because R-Truth is stupid. But a good kind of stupid. Next up is the face versus face tag team title match, the Street Profits versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. I would have the Street Profits win, but at the end, both teams shake hands. No one turns heel because these teams are too good to turn heel, in my opinion. At least not right now. Next up, we have Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio. Orton hits one RKO, or, well, Rey Mysterio hits his 619, goes to the top of the rope, tries to splash Randy Orton, gets up, RKO, 1, 2, 3. I think that would look cool. So he wins the match. Next up, we have a last man standing match between Big Show and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley wins the match after, picking up Big Show and just tossing him into, like, I don't know, an empty area of the crowd. If we have a crowd. Probably not. Next up, we have Beth Phoenix versus Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler just, wins the match, beating Beth Phoenix. She can return her title. That's the end of that. Next up, we have a tag team match between Drew McIntyre and John Cena versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. McIntyre and Cena win the match. This was a long video, and I had to take several drinks. But, did you guys enjoy this video? I know I did making it. So, it was 225 slides. That was... next video on my channel will be KCW Lightning Episode 3, so that'll be up in like a day or two, maybe 3. I'm having to work on schoolwork. But anyway, guys, it's the Chaotic One saying peace.